Hello, my name is Henry Veleta, and I'm going to talk about the history of Kansas weather. We are going to talk about droughts, floods, and tornadoes. So grab a chair and some popcorn, and let's get started. As all of you may know, Kansas is in a drought, but people in the 1930s had it worse. So in the 1930s, there was the Dust Bowl. Sunday, April 14th, 1935, was called Black Sunday. A massive front moved across the plains with winds of 60 miles per hour and had dust clouds hundreds of feet high. Some people stayed, some people left, but the people who stayed only had hope. But to stop the dust clouds, the U.S. Soil Conservation Service told farmers to strip farm, contour farm, to restore pasture lands, and to plant windbreakers. Of the efforts the farmers did, Kansas now does not have horrible dust storms. Floods. Kansas has had floods. Even though that might sound crazy, Kansas has had floods. The flood in 1903, Salina received the largest amount of rain at 17.13 inches. By May 26, water covered the northwest portions of the city. On the same day, May 26, Topeka was flooded. Lawrence and Kansas City was flooded on May 31st. The floods caused railroads to discontinue service, and waterworks flooded, cutting off the water supplies to fire protection services. People in Topeka were surrounded when a portion of the Mellon Bridge that crossed the Kansas River was destroyed. Samuel Reeder was a Civil War vet. He lived in Topeka and had many health issues. His diary tracks how the water was advancing. On May 23rd to 28th, he mentioned rain in his diary, but on May 29th, he begins to become alarmed. Samuel said, "There's no danger, but water up in yard at 11:30. At 2 a.m., water in the house. Water rising fast." The next day, boats carried people out of Topeka onto the Kansas River, but Samuel's neighbors had to carry him to the boats because of his arthritis. 57 people died, 38 people were in Topeka alone, and only one of the 7 railroad bridges in the Kansas City area survived the flood. Tornadoes that caused destruction and havoc. The town of Caldwell in Brooks County was hit by a F2 tornado on May 20th, 1916. On May 20th, 1917, they had an F3 tornado. On May 20th, 1918, they had an F4 tornado, which meant they had an annual tornado that always gets worse. The other tornado that formed on May 25, 1955, and formed in Oklahoma that traveled 50 miles to the town of Udall in Kelly County. The tornado killed 80 and injured more than 200. So 10 years later, more than 11 days, many cities across Kansas, including Topeka and the Shawnee County, experienced 59 tornadoes in just 11 days on June 8, 1966. The Greensburg tornado that happened really recently, May 4th, 2007. This destructive tornado formed in the northeastern corner of Texas, the Panhandle. It moved through Oklahoma, picking up strength while approaching Greensburg. When it did reach Greensburg, the tornado was an EF5 tornado, which an estimate winds of 205 miles per hour. When it was over, 90% of the town was destroyed, 60 people injured, and 11 killed. If you're wondering about tornadoes in Kearney County, Kansas, there has been 132 tornadoes since 1955. In all those tornadoes, one person died in June 23rd, 1967, and around 50 total people injured since 1950. So now you know about weather and storms. You know that people have had to go through the struggling droughts and the Dust Bowl. You know, even though Kansas is in a drought, we've had floods that were hard to face for many people. And you know, of course, have had many tornadoes. So hopefully you got some knowledge about Kansas. My name was Henry Veleta, and see you later.